Have you ever noticed just how much we compare things all day long? You might say this coffee is way better than yesterday's, or that movie was much longer than I expected. Well, today we are going to dive into the super simple English grammar that makes all of that possible, comparatives.
Okay, I'm about to show you a sentence that I bet you have said or thought 1,000 times, just with different words. You ready for this? There it is. This one is bigger than that one. So simple, right? But it's something we say all the time. This right here is a comparative. And honestly, it's one of the most powerful tools you can have for everyday English conversations.
And I'm not kidding, this is not just some boring grammar rule from a textbook. We use these constantly when we're talking about food, deciding which shirt to wear, or even trying to explain how we feel. Comparatives are literally everywhere. So let's break this down. What's the core idea here? What are we actually doing when we use one of these comparative sentences? When it comes right down to it, a comparative is just a special way to talk about the difference between two things. Not one thing, not three things, but exactly two. And that number, that's the key to everything.
That's right. Two. This is probably the single most important part to remember. If you're talking about a difference between exactly two things, you're definitely using a comparative. Now let's look at how the sentence is built. You see it here. This apple is bigger than that apple. We've got our two apples, right? And then we have that little word that connects them, than. You can think of than as the bridge that makes the whole comparison work. It's essential. Okay, now for the fun part, the practical part. Believe it or not, there are just two simple rules you need to know. This is your entire toolkit for making comparisons. So, the first thing you have to figure out is what kind of word you're using. Is it a short word, one syllable, like big or fast? Or is it a longer word with two or more syllables, like delicious or interesting? Because, well, how long the word is tells you exactly which rule you're going to use.
All right, rule number one. This is for all those short words, and it is so easy. You just take your word, like fast, and you stick on the end. That is it. Fast becomes faster. Done. And here it is out in the wild. This dumpling is bigger than that one. Big is a short one-syllable word, right? So we just add ER to make bigger. Super simple, super effective.
And now for rule number two. This one is for our longer words. With these, we don't add anything to the end of the word. Nope. Instead, we put the word more right in front of it. So, interesting becomes more interesting. Easy, right? Let's see rule two in action. This restaurant is more delicious than that one. Delicious, that's a long word, so we put more right before it. And we could do this with other long words too. Maybe one is more popular or more expensive than the other. See how that works? Two simple rules for two kinds of words. Okay, knowing the rules is great, but let's see how this stuff works in the real world. We're going to use a really cool example from Chinese New Year celebrations. So, I want you to imagine you're holding two red envelopes, two hongbao. They're both beautiful, of course, but they're not exactly the same. So how would we start comparing them?
Well, we can actually use both of our new rules right here. To talk about the size, we can say, this one is bigger than that one. That's our short word rule. But for the design, we'd say, this one is more beautiful than that one. And that's our long word rule. See? Both rules, same situation. It's perfect.
And of course, it's not just about red envelopes. Think about any holiday. We are always comparing things. Which food is tastier, which gifts are better, which decorations are prettier. Our comparative rules are getting a real workout. Okay, before we go any further, we need to talk about one super common mistake. If you can avoid this one, your English is going to sound so much more natural. Just look at this table. The big mistake people make is trying to use both rules at the same time. You never, ever say more bigger or more faster. And you definitely don't say interestinger. You have to choose one rule and stick to it. So if you remember one thing from this section, let it be this. Choose one rule. You either add ER to a short word or you add more before a long word. You never ever do both. All right, that's enough of me talking. Now it is your turn. Let's get you to actually use this stuff because that's how it really sinks in. Okay, right now, wherever you are, just look around the room. Find two things. Can you make a sentence using our rule? For instance, right here, My water bottle is taller than my coffee cup. Go on. What do you see? And now for rule number 2. Think of something, anything at all. What is more interesting than listening to me talk about English grammar? Hopefully not too many things. But seriously, try to make a sentence using more.
You know, the real key to all of this is just practice. The more you use these 2 little rules to compare things in your everyday life, the easier and more natural it's all going to feel. So keep comparing, keep practicing, and you will get this down in no time. Thanks so much for joining me.